learned?
Well, you know, the late Buck O'Neil, he worked for the Cubs for 30 years, you know, and I used to see Buck all the time. One of my old famous bleacher bums, I used to go, Buck, O'Neil, Cubs, Mariners, Buck, number one. We love you, Buck.
And that was a call you would give from the stands, from the bleachers, huh?
From the bleachers, yeah. Whoever was playing for his back, go, Ernie, Cubs, Billy, Williams, Fergie, Jenkins. They would hear me and they would wave to me just like that, you know, and I was so loud, you know. And they came on from the stand, my voice carried all over the ballpark, you know. And that's something for the love of the game.
So, what made you a Cubs fan?
I had a little teddy bear. At the time, a small teddy bear. And the Cubs was the Cubs. I like baseball, like the Cubs and the bear together. That's kind of hooked those two up together. And there it was, you know. So it's just amazing, you know. And Buck, I just see Buck all the time at the ballpark. He said, I can hear you. He said, I want to hear you there, buddy. I want to hear you there. He'll go out there and I go cheer and call Billy, things like that. It was just amazing.
Excellent. So now there's this extraordinary exhibit honoring his memory and his legacy and his contributions to the game. What do we not know about Buck O'Neil that we should know?
Buck was a spiritual man. He loved the game. He said life was brought around baseball. He said no matter what you do in life, you play ball, you always want to come home, but it don't cost nothing to be nice. And Buck represented that. You know, be nice to people, be kind to people, and love the game. Go out there and enjoy your life. It was he should say, the greatest thing in my life is loving you. The greatest thing in my life is loving you.
That used to be Buck O'Neil's song, huh? Excellent, excellent.
Well, Ronnie had a documentary about his life in Chicago back in 2005, and Buck O'Neil was invited to come and he was the guest speaker. And right before that evening started, Buck had a watch on his wrist, and he took it off and he gave it to Ronnie. He said, I want you to have this. And it was a watch that belonged to Buck, and that's a very dear present that Ronnie has had during that time, and he cherishes that. And another story is Ronnie had a pair of shoes on one time that Buck really liked, and he said, where did you get those shoes? He said, can you get me a pair like that? And we ended up getting him a pair of these shoes. They were white shoes with the cubby blue color on it. And it ends up, we found out that later on that was the last pair of shoes that Buck O'Neil wore before he died. When he went to the hospital, he was wearing the shoes that Ronnie gave him as a gift.
Wow.
And so that's another memory that we have that Ronnie cherishes about Buck.
Excellent, excellent. So tell me a little bit about this documentary.
The documentary is called Woo Life. It's about Ronnie's life as a Cub fan and how he came about going to the ball games and cheering for the Cubs. And part of his story is that he was homeless during part of the time that he was going to the ball games. And so the documentary is showing the effects of homelessness and how that affects people, and also how people get out of homelessness and how they can live a happy life.
Excellent. And so baseball was part of what helped keep you together during the difficult times.
It was like this, you know, no matter what happened, what I was going through, I always come to the ball game, you know. And like Buck always said, you know, I always come to the ball game, there's something spiritual here, it's a medicine. And I always remember that, it's a medicine. So I would always come up to Wrigley Field. What I was going through, I always wanted to come to Wrigley Field. It just kept me alive.
So the ball game was a reason for him to get up in the morning and to go there, and he connected with people. And then he just kept doing it. Then he became a famous fan. And that's how his nickname, Woo Woo, Ronnie Woo Woo, is cheering for the Cubs and the players.
People have to know, what does Woo Woo mean? Woo Woo means win, win. Win, win. That's what it really means. Woo Woo means win, win.
Excellent.
My name is Anthony, Erick Dickson II, and my grandfather is DeWitt Woody Smallwood. He's one of the first founders and first president of the actual Negro League board back when in its inception. And my affiliation with it is that, my love for baseball. Played a few years myself in the minor leagues with the Kansas City Royals, and I currently teach lessons and have my own little baseball program that I've started. Yes. So
here in Kansas City?
Here in Kansas City.
Okay. So tell me, what does it mean to have your grandfather's legacy remembered this evening?
I mean, it means everything. I mean, you take a lot of these guys from the Negro Leagues don't get a lot of recognition, and we've done a lot of hard work and given a lot to try to keep their legacy and their ambitions for the progression of blacks in baseball alive. So I mean, it means everything for me to be able to say that my grandfather was a part of that. I do my part in that, and we have a lot of people that really do a lot to try to keep blacks in their progression in baseball. So tonight's a very good night for me.
So you're going to actually have an opportunity to receive this award with your grandmother.
Yes.
What do you think this means for her?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, she would like for her son, my father, to be there as well, but he unfortunately can't be here tonight. But for me to be able to be up there with her, it will mean the world to her, and definitely means the world to me to be able to sit up here and say that. And I'm with my grandfather, and in the sense that he's right there next to me, I'm sure.
The success of any not-for-profit organization is based on its leadership. And this museum, from the time that it started in a little one-room office space inside the Lincoln Building, has had great leadership. Whether it was Don Motley serving as executive director, or in the case of those who have served as his board chairs, or in that case, they used to be presidents. It would not have happened without that tremendous leadership to see this museum grow to become what it is today. So at this point in time, we want to honor those who have had a role in this. I would like to call to the stage Ms. Barbara Smallwood, and she's going to be accompanied by, I believe, her grandson, Erick, to accept a token of our appreciation on behalf of our very first board president, Mr. DeWitt Woody Smallwood. Woody was our very first president of the board, did an extraordinary job when we was in that little one-room office, and him and Mr. Motley were doing their thing, and it would not have happened without the commitment of Woody. And so we're thrilled to be able to present you, Ms. Smallwood, with a token of our appreciation, this wonderful piece in remembrance of Buck that we hope you will share with your family for years to come.
Reggie, thank you for your comments and for having this moment to talk with us at diversityinbusiness.com. You just got through experiencing the Negro League Baseball Museum.
Yes, sir.
And just wanted your thoughts as a former player, an African-American player. What do you think the importance of that institution is to players in general, African-American players, and to our community?
Well, for me, there's so many people that have paved the way for me, and being able to have spent some time with Buck O'Neil before, when I came to Kansas City before I played, and then just really getting a sense of what he was all about and what he was trying to accomplish and had accomplished. And then coming back, and he's passed away, some time now, and being able to come back, and you could just feel the energy and the synergy of what's going on in the efforts of what he's trying to do with the Negro League Museum. And Bob Kendrick is really the forefront of that, helping those efforts. So for me as a player, it's almost just paying homage to what has been in the forefront, just in African American community. And so there's so many guys that have paved the way. Now it's my turn to pave the way for the guys that are playing now, and it just carries over, onto another legacy. So, I said something earlier today about the secret to success. And for me, it's almost like what the Negro League preserves. It's like the secret to success is being able to take what is your passion and using that passion in a way that you can fully express yourself through it and that others can benefit from it. And that's what the Negro League Museum is all about.
So for those players who are currently on the field playing, who haven't come and experienced this, what would you say to them?
Well, it's interesting because it's almost like from the beaten path. You don't know about it. It's like a hidden treasure. And so it's important that we have the people that have come here, like myself, like other players that know about this, continue to share the message and continue to let them know that this is here and this is a part of who you are and the reason why you are who you are. And so, yeah, I think we got to continue to share that message.